So here are 3 things that guarantee visa approvals. Now, the first thing is a good travel history. I've had people ask me most times in the comment section, does travel history matter? Yes. But don't be in a hurry, because even though you don't have a good travel history, I will tell you how to fix this. For example, if you live in Nigeria, would maybe going to Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana, does it qualify as a good travel history? My answer would be no, for obvious reasons. These are visa-free destinations, and you can basically go by road. There are no restrictions. There are no restrictions when traveling, particularly with a Nigerian passport, to these destinations. Now, what I would consider a good travel history is any destination that issues a visa. It could be a stamped visa, it could be a visa on arrival. Any destination that would issue you an e-visa, a stamped visa, a visa on arrival. If you have record of frequent travel to 1 or 2 of this destination, or 2 or 3 of this destination, it would qualify as a good travel history. Now, most times people with Virgin passport are always advised to take a trip or 2 to some of these other destinations before applying to the very strict countries. Now, a good travel history is important when making visa applications. Now, I have been to many countries, and most times, like 99% of the time, it's almost always guaranteed that I would get a visa. I will leave the 1% of the time for people, just those embassies who, I don't know, who just like to be wicked. But 99% of the time, maybe because I've done this over and over again, I know what mistakes not to make. I have a passport that has lots of visas and then lots of entry and exit stamps. I have never violated any of the conditions of the visa that has been granted to me. That is a good travel history. You go, record that you have gone there, spent the time you said you would spend there, you did not overstay, and you got back home, and probably you even went again and then you got back home. That's a good travel history. Now, if you do have a good travel history, when they're assessing, you're like, okay, she went to this destination. She said she was going to spend 10 days. She spent 10 days. She went back home. She went to the other destination. She spent. So we can trust this one, we can trust, this one, that if we give her, the visa, she would return home. Now, that is what a good travel history does to you. Now, if you do not have a good travel history, then strong ties in your home country is also something that would make you look good. What do I mean by strong ties? Strong ties could be a family that you have. It could be that you're a wife and you are married. It could be like you're a husband and you're married, and then you have children, you have elderly parents, you have brothers, you have sisters, you have other dependents, you have something, you have a life. Your life is here, meaning you don't have any plans to go abroad and be alone, because everything you've built around your life is in your home country. It could be a job. You must show that this job is important to you. And also you are important to the job based on the role that you play, in that establishment. If you're a business person, you must show that your business evolves around you, that without you, this business cannot be sustained. You want to show that you keep good accounting records. You want to show that you have people who are dependent on you, like you have employees. You're an entrepreneur, you have employees, you have people that you pay salary, and these people look up to you. Now, the idea of improving strong ties is just to show that because you have all those things going for you, you're not just going to abandon them and travel, because you have a life. Now, that's an example of strong ties. Strong ties could also be an investment. It could be that, you have properties. Maybe if you bought a real estate, you have property, and then you earn, rental income from your property. You have things going on here in your home country. You're too invested in your home country to just abandon it and elope. That is an example of strong ties. Now, the third thing would be your financial record. Now, I know that most people always just think that finances fixes it, and then most times when they want to go for, let's say, a visa interview, they just go tell people to throw in bulk money, you know, just to show that, oh, they have money sitting in there. Now, the problem with that is your income must have a source. If you have show income that goes into your account without a source, then it leaves too many questions unanswered. One, it could be that maybe you're a thief. It could be like maybe you're a fraudulent person, or maybe it could be that the money does not belong to you, which in most cases is, you know, that is what it is. You have to build your financial record over time to prove that yes, you can afford your trip. If you work in an organization and then you earn an income, I always hear people say, okay, I earn this amount of money, the dollar is high, it doesn't look as if I have other sources of income. Because if the dollar is high and you still want to travel, okay, where are you going to get the money to travel? So it is okay to have a stable source of income, but show proof that you have other sources of income that is coming into your bank account. And it could be periodic. It doesn't have to be, it could be periodic. It just shows that, okay, even though this is the amount of money that you earn from your job, you do other things that bring in so and so money. So now let's even say if your family, you know, is giving you money, you want to ensure that that money comes in early. The bank account, you know, you're going to present, you know, for your visa application, you just have them pay that money periodically into your bank account, just to show that, okay, you know, this is money that comes to me despite the one that I get from my job. Now, this, you want to, like, if I were to pick up your bank account that you use on a daily, it would show inflow, it would show outflow. It would show you paying for your cable, paying for your maybe food, paying for groceries, paying just everyday life. Now have an account that shows that, oh, your money is coming, money is going. Don't just have a bank account that just sits there and is only receiving deposit, and then you just go and present it and say, okay, madam, this is my account. It doesn't, that's not what a natural person would do. So if you're operating your account, unless maybe it's strictly a savings account, then the account itself would speak, you know, for itself. But yes, your income should have a source. And it's in explaining that source that you would be able to prove to the whoever is assessing you that yes, this money is available to you and you can afford your trip. Now, these are three things that work together, you know, to guarantee visa, you know, approvals. Now you might say, oh, I have one, I don't have the other. But if you have major, for example, if they're assessing you and then they realize, okay, you have good travel history, you can afford your trip, you know, they can actually grant you, you know, that visa. You know, it works well together, or maybe any two option. You can't just say, oh, I can afford my trip. I don't. It just, if you have all three of them, if you meet the criteria of all three, best. If you meet two, fair enough. If you just meet one, I don't know about that. So I hope that this is really useful. You know, I want you to drop your comment, leave your comment here, because it's from the comments that I get that I'm also able to put out videos that can help you. Now, I'm a tourism promoter, so most of my contents are focused on tourism. I do get people that ask questions, you know, about, oh, living abroad and working abroad. I'm a tourism promoter and I'm not trying to encourage you to, you know, live abroad. You know, I'm more or less encouraging you to go out and explore and then come back to your home country like I do, you know. So thank you very much for joining me and have a good day. Bye.